We saw in day one of week 5, yesterday, a lot of people were spread out. I mean, there wasn't too many people all in one centralized location. There was a lot. Normally, in like a public match, you'd see the majority of players wiped out, like probably 70% in the first 5 minutes. In this one, we see people alive for a long, long time. I would say they're going to be looking for areas with a lot of loot and a lot of materials, and not necessarily going towards the action-packed drops like Tilted Towers. They might play it safe to feel out their opponents right now.
Yeah, definitely. This is Fnatic Power, Fnatic Draw. We've seen Fnatic Power compete every week. He's a phenomenal player. He dropped a 20 bomb not too long ago. And this, they're landing Viking Village.
And what's interesting about this is Viking Mountain may not have the most amount of materials to be farmed here, but there is a lot of loot, and there's rifts nearby, and that's very, very key, especially when you have the high ground as well. You can kind of scout out, you take a rift, you can look where you want to go, maybe drop somewhere where there's no enemies, maybe drop in an area with an unlooted area, actually. So there's a lot of great options there.
Definitely, and as you can see, this is the map, so we kind of get a sense of where players are, and it looks like a lot of players actually landed Viking Village. It was 2 squads, but they might have used a rift to get out.
And if you can see the map, also on the left side of Viking Mountain, there's a team directly south, there's a team southwest, there's a team west, and then there's more at Snobby Shores to the northwest as well. I mean, they're going to be in for a treat, and on top of that, the circle is very far away.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see when they rotate out, what engagements they take. Are people going to be taking engagements? Are they going to be playing it safe?
Yeah, we saw yesterday a lot of players opted to kind of like play back, right? They just wanted to feel out the competition. They wanted to get as many resources as they could, find any loot that they really could, because every single elimination in this format specifically matters, right? Because it's even just a point. Yesterday we saw the points where there were one in difference, right? So every single elimination matters. So what we're probably going to see is the moment that a player downs someone, instant elimination, right? There's no, we're going to down them and we're going to utilize this to force play, right?
Yeah, that 1 point could be the difference between making it top 20, getting that prize pool, or being 21st and not claiming anything. So people are definitely going to play a lot differently and try to really eliminate players that they down versus leaving them alive and focusing on the players who are shooting them.
Mm-hmm. This is Razor. We've seen Razor pretty much every tournament now, I believe, for EU. He's just a phenomenal player. I love seeing his play.
Yeah, and it looks like with his drop, he's kind of near the outskirts of Paradise. There are some rifts nearby, and he's most likely going for the materials. Oh, he actually sees an enemy, takes a little shot with first shot, actually downs him.
That was Martin.
And he's going for that finish, as you just talked about.
Yep, because every elimination matters. So now they have a point on the board. So that means at minimum they're somewhere in top 10, right? If no one, and if this is the first elimination of the game, which is not, 17 players have been eliminated, but everyone is now fighting for points. So
and now it's a 2 versus 1. You got to wonder where that other teammate is of the player they just downed and eliminated. Is he going to want to back off? Is he going to want to hide? And in that situation, I don't think it would be wise to take a fight 1 versus 2. The person who is solo would most likely bail.
Yep, and this is Svenos. We're hopping over to him. His teammate Intini has fallen, so he's playing by himself.
Very, very great players, very skilled. It looks like he's trying to get ready to build a wall once it breaks. In build mode right now. Has a decent amount of mats, not very much to get into a build-off. However, he is hidden in a house, using natural cover to avoid wasting mats outside and being in the open.
Yeah, he's here in Paradise Palms. I believe there's another duo here. Maybe even a third set. There was definitely people kind of in the areas around Paradise Palms.
I think he hears footsteps. Maybe we should listen in?
Yeah, let's listen in.
What's the other fucking team doing?
Playing the waiting game, however, he can only play this game for so long with the Storm getting ready to force him out. He's going to have to make a move here, and I think he realizes that.
They're still close. I believe they know he's here. They just don't know where exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
They replaced his wall. They're going to replace that one. Now he makes an edit. That is his wall. Builds above. They're going to try to check the ceiling down in that bathroom. He's coming from the right. He dropped down. Oh, beautiful. And another one coming. Gets it. Oh, with 3 HP
What?
remaining.
And that was Dementos. Dementos actually won first place in week 4.
Wow.
So he eliminates a very high-profile player there, and I mean a duo. So now he's gonna have 2 eliminations under his belt.
And there are more nearby.
Wow.
They're building up
Thank
again,
you,
going to
Lord.
drop down possibly in the bathroom. He needs to get out of this situation. He's pinched in here. He can't escape if he's in a tight situation. He needs to make some room for himself. Right now, he's in a tough situation. That isn't his ceiling up above. The enemy can edit and make a play down. That's not his wall either. Places a pyramid to kind of hold back the enemy, and now he bails. 2 enemies, and he can't get it.
And look, that was Razor. So Razor made his way over with his duo partner and finds elimination. So again, Razor also has 2 eliminations under his belt.
Yeah. And as we're seeing, a lot of the action is taking place early on. And as we're going to see late game, people are more hyper-aware and people are more, like, they try to hide and try to build one-by-ones to scout out the area. And it's going to be tough for people rotating in, such as this player right here, when people are all set up.
Yeah, this is Nox and Tixi. Also, they competed last week.
In a build-up, tries to make an edit play through the stairs.
Oh.
Teammate gets some.
Wow. I don't know if you saw, his teammate was actually the one that edited the
That was
ramp there.
really nice, yeah.
So he threw up the ramp, and then his teammate was like, I got this.
Perfect. And now it's a 2 versus 1. They're going to want to close in on them together, not solo like this, but it might. Nice, they did. Pushed in together and got him out. That nice little pinch secured them 2 eliminations.
And I love seeing this play. You know, now that we're in a duo tournament, how does that really change up the way people play?
Yeah, so as we noticed in day 1 of this tournament, a lot more people are more communicative, and we can almost get into people's thoughts better because you have to communicate what you're doing and what you plan to do. That way you can give your teammate information, that way they can make a better judgment on what they should be doing. And so communication is what you're going to notice is going to separate the really good players from the veterans and the pros.
You can see them all.
Nice, gets a nice elimination as well.
There goes Trust, was eliminated there by Lunary Airwalks and Solary Hunter. We've actually seen these guys play not as a duo. They played in solos, so it's really awesome to see them together.
Both of them are very low health, and I think they're getting pinched by a grenade launcher. Someone else, another team is possibly nearby. There is shooting.
Yeah, you can tell they're kind of like, and it's tough, right? Because, you know, especially with low health like you're talking about, when you have,
Whoa! That one pump to the face.
They just edit one ramp and then immediately blow this person up. And that's the thing we call the term owning the structures or owning that wall. It allows you to edit, right? So if you're boxed in and the enemy has placed walls, they have freedom to edit those walls, and then suddenly they have advantage, right? Because they get to decide when the fight starts.
They dictate it, exactly. And it's so key, as you said, to be able to place your own wall and judge and dictate the fight. A lot more action going on, pushing shooting at a player in the storm, trying to escape it.
I believe these are the Lunary and Solary guys right here.
Storm is not
out of the storm. Yeah, it is. Look.
C4 placed, nice little pyramid to block it. Does not detonate it.
Oh, he pops the shield of one of the players there.
And now he's getting pinched from above. Beautiful.
Oh, no.
Double C4 and no way to counter. Beautifully
man.
placed.
Okay, so now these guys also have an elimination of their belts. This is Nugason and Ball. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm going to say some names wrong all today. I'm sorry.
And if they can get possibly 7+ eliminations together, running into possibly 4 teams, if they can secure 7+ eliminations, they will get the Wrecking Ball bonus, which will double their point score in the next match, which is maybe something they could be going for right now.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of players come very, very close. They'd find themselves with 5, 6 eliminations, but then they just couldn't get it. Because we even saw players get that 7, and they were like, okay, it's okay if we get eliminated, because next game we're gonna go all in, right?
Yeah.
But look at this. This is the current map. Nick, look at how far everyone is spread out.
Right. There's the majority of players are actually in the storm circle, so they're going to have to rotate in. There's going to be a lot of action coming up very, very soon once people start rotating in. The storm is going to force all the players who are out inside into one contained area, and we will see a lot of action. And even right here, where we are spectating, there are some players nearby if you look on the map to the left side. So this could get interesting very quickly.
Yeah, it's cool to see that some players already own Tomato Town. Those are the white little triangles there. We got a few of the greens, the little pinks there. A lot of colors. A lot of them.
Yeah, and it looks like in Lonely Lodge, we see the red. Okay, now we just swap perspectives to Retail Row, and they have a team actually towards their southwest, if I'm not mistaken. So they may be running into, or even to the south, they may be running into an enemy very soon as well.
There's still 50 players left alive, Nick. This is only match 1. So like you're talking about, once the storm starts forcing these players together, I mean, just look at Dusty Divot. There's like, what, 2, 3, 4 teams there?
Yeah. And I imagine there's so many people there because late game mats are so crucial. So people are farming all the trees. There's plenty of trees to be farmed. Many teams can be maxed out on mats if they farm and take the time to do that, which is probably why they're all centered there right now before they're forced out.
Look at this. They're going to start making their way into Dusty. We know there's a few different squads here. But where? I personally, fighting in Dusty is very claustrophobic for me. Like, you never know where someone might be because you can very easily just hide your character behind a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
And pop out.
You don't necessarily need to build, and like we always say, I mean, you know, if you build, sure you're covered and you're not exposed. But the thing about not building and just hiding behind a tree is you're not exposed. Nobody knows about a structure there, and you're almost hidden in the sense that no one's going to look in that general area where they normally would if there was some structures. Switching over.
Back over to Tixi and Nox. They find another elimination. Oh, look at that. So they find, was that a stink bomb?
Stink bomb, yeah. It forces them out to make to move positions. Tries to build up with the high ground. Teammates already buff, has ultimate high ground. They're both pinching at the same time, 2 versus 1. This is a great situation for this team right here. Great play.
Man.
Could not build quick enough. There was just it was coming from all angles. Very great pinch.
You know, and that's a great point. Often in 1v1s, it's easier to manage the player that's shooting at you, right? You just keep putting up a wall, you put up a pyramid. When it's 2 players, they can kind of split the directions, right?
Exactly.
You got one guy at your right, one guy at your left, and you're literally trying to place walls between them as walls are going down.
And that's what the majority of good players will do. They won't focus together on one wall. They'll split up their fire to a left wall and a right wall, or a ceiling and a wall, because one enemy player can't build in 2 spots at once.
That's right. This is back over to Nusen and Baloo.
Using the sniper, we saw a lot of great action from Myth in day 1 with the sniper as well.
And wow! A 245-meter headshot.
That is insane.
Dude, that range. What? No way.
Oh my! And he gets the finish as well.
And you talked about this, right? Having to make sure you secure these eliminations to get those guaranteed points. Because otherwise, your teammate can just revive them, right? And then you don't get that point.
And there's almost not a point in engaging at this far away. Typically, I mean, clearly this is an exception because, I mean, once you get the down, sure, you got the down, but they're just going to get revived and then you don't even have any points to work with. But in this case, I mean, that marksmanship is on point.
Okay, so they're still looking at players.
A lot of players are actually rocking bolt actions.
Yeah. Looks like they may be trying to still, I mean, it's only the first game, right? So why not play what you're good at? That long range, man. I mean, we saw the 245-meter headshot. I mean, that's pretty clutch.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if they drop their bolt action or their sniper rifles for late game, because as we noticed, late game, there's a lot of tunneling and a lot of hiding and a lot of boxing up, and it doesn't give you an opportunity to use long-range weapons as much when people are directly above you or below you. So let's see if they possibly drop their loadouts once they get a few eliminations and there's other loot on the table.
35 players left, Nick. We know there's definitely a team in Tomato. We saw that earlier in the map. There's someone just inside, but now players are going to start making their way, and they have to try and get out of the storm.
Yeah, and I think they have a really great position here, and they can keep it. They can get some action here, and I think once they set something up, maybe a down, they might want to push in, because eventually they have the high ground. They can't build out from here with floors and pyramids, because it's just too high up. They risk getting shot down. They're going to have to drop down eventually anyway. So why not set that up with a down first?
That's right.
Oh!
Teddy goes down. 126-meter snipe. That's pretty good.
And now they push in.
That's right. They say, we've got a launch pad. Let's take this engagement. We've down a player.
They are going out of the zone right here, so they're going to have to be quick. The zone is closing in 5 seconds. They've got to be quick. Also, potential third parties could be an option. They go for the shotgun. Break through the jump pad, play the bounce pad.
Wow. So they eliminate both of the VGIA players, and they're, like you're saying, they got to start making their way out of the storm. They're pretty close, right?
Yeah,
not too far.
Come here.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, and they are getting shot from a third party. Oh! That cost him a little bit of health. He's trying to use impulses to get into the zone a lot quicker, maybe to avoid any gunfire from those third parties.
I think that was a little bit of a panic play. You don't really need to, because then you're right. It's chip damage, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to take every point of health matters.
They possibly could have built walls instead, or rotated their ramps and kind of ran in a direction like we saw in the previous day.
Yeah, dude.
As cover, they rotate ramps and place them as they're running. However, yeah, maybe they just got a little panicky, and that is totally a-okay. In these tournaments, the pressure can definitely get to you.
But that's the thing, right? It's not these aren't pubs. You know,
Exactly.
it's every single person in this
right in
lobby
front,
has been
3:30.
chosen, has proven that
I'm
they
safe in
are
this
here
one.
for a reason.
So I think-
So everyone's good. So in that moment, they probably thought, dude, we're getting shot. If we give them any window, they're going to down us.
Yeah.
We just have to get out of here, right?
Yeah, pressure plays a huge factor, and like we saw with Liquid Poach yesterday, he stays. And that's what separates, I think, the good players from the very, very good players. Staying composed under pressure.
Dun, 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 dun. And now we are finding ourselves in a top 32 situation. So interesting, only 4 players have been eliminated because we were at 36 before.
Right. And with this wall that they have up there, the enemy can almost use that as a backboard. If they have an RPG, they shoot it on that wall right directly above them, and it will do splash damage on both of them. They have to be extra careful here. They're being very aware of any kind of RPGs or explosives, especially like a grenade launcher. You can directly bounce that off, treat it as a backboard.
No way, dude. I'm so every time I see someone take a snipe, I'm like, is this it? Is this it down?
Right?
No team moving. They're in the open.
Let's listen in. I'm actually curious to hear what they're
You see them?
Good
what they're
call.
saying.
Yeah.
Right next to tomato. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. Okay, so do we want to do the bounce launch pad?
No, no, we don't need to. We just take the launch pad west.
Right. Wait, west?
Yeah, look, in the sun.
Oh yeah.
We're
but
gonna
I'm
take like
I'm gonna
4
go.
damage.
Yeah.
Where we, I say wait. I don't see anyone on the houses. I say we go now. Come.
Alright.
I say we go now.
Yeah, and they need to make a move here. 26 seconds before the storm moves, so they may as well move quickly
I know,
and use that launch pad to its advantage.
I actually like that. You know, that's like perfect. I mean, yeah, you're gonna take a tiny bit of storm damage, but for that mobility and that option to suddenly be inside in the very deep circles of the storm,
Yeah.
that's the way to go, man.
Because they were taking shots at other teams, so other teams knew exactly where they were at, and they were in the zone, much further into the zone. So the other team could almost wait and pick them off as they had to drop down this team. So they made a good call there, using that launch pad to escape versus just dropping down and running in the open.
Definitely. 27 players left in this lobby. We just saw the map. It's starting to get very tight. Teams are going to start to be forced together. And we saw yesterday, you know, you kind of hold off until you can't, right? Until everyone starts to has to start fighting.
Right.
And then it's just however the dust settles, right?
And third partying is so huge. I mean, at this late of the game, unless you're going for that wrecking ball bonus, you don't want to be taking fights unless the enemy makes a mistake or unless you see an opportunity to really capitalize on the enemy's positioning or whatever the case may be. And it looks like they're taking that opportunity. They're capitalizing on this. One enemy right here. No one's firing back, so they can just keep on pressuring. The enemy almost needs to fire back so they don't just keep on pressuring.
Look at this. Razor has 4 eliminations under his belt. If his teammate has any, they're super, super close to that wrecking ball bonus. They only need 3 more eliminations.
And as you talked about, Zeke, they are owning this wall right here, so the enemy can't make that edit. Very smart move. Very skilled players.
Oh, look.
Owning all those floors, everything. They don't want to be caught off guard with any kind of edits by the enemy.
And you'll see, look at that. They're immediately building everyone.
Oh, great tactical
Look,
shot.
that was Tixi. So Tixi has gone down. And now we're top 20 situation.
5 eliminations.
Dude, if his teammate has any eliminations, that's it. They've activated Wrecking Ball for next game.
Yeah, that is impressive. They're getting pinched, I think, by another team. They're at the edge of the storm. They're going to launch pad.
Oh, this is so smart. You know,
Great
why
play.
not? Now, here's the thing. He's taking a ton of damage because, I mean, at this stage of the game, especially when there's 19 players in a lobby, if you hear a launch pad, you're immediately looking to the sky and you're looking to say, I need to laser this target.
Yeah.
I may not down them, but I'm going to hurt that person.
And he even had an opportunity to get closer to the storm. However, he saw a metal structure built, and with as low health as he had, he almost didn't want to risk getting possibly third-partied from that metal base. He wanted to heal up first, and now he's going to have to make a run into the zone in a little bit.
And honestly, this is not a bad option, right? You land in a house where no one has really broken every single, like, small piece of furniture. So this is free materials. They basically have given and set up Razor to farm a little more. He's got natural cover.
Right, in a 1 versus 2, I mean, he's not going to want to be in the open. He's not going to want to be the first target that enemies see, because in a 2 versus 1 is bad. He almost wants to wait till enemies make a play, and now he can sneak in when people are distracted, like so.
Razor finding himself alone.
He may get aggressive as well.
I mean, if this is Razor we're talking about, man, he's going to go in no matter what. He's always going to give it 110%.
And as you can see, he's extending his 1x1 out just to make it so enemies don't know exactly which 1x1 he's in. He has 3 possible options enemies have 3 possible options to shoot at. With the aggressive play here, this is kind of bold. Grenade launchers from this far away, wasting ammo when you're not 100% sure you're going to land that shot. Oh, there's one below him.
Oh, man, and look, he has no more grenades to be used, so I agree. I think maybe he should just save the grenades.
Right.
Best to let these enemies fight it out, you know?
Yeah, being very aggressive. Mind you, he has no shield. He does have a lot of mats. He does have a lot of AR ammo, but this could get kind of tricky if an enemy starts finding out where he's at and tries to engage all together, 2 versus 1.
Wow. So, you know what's funny about what just happened? It wasn't just Razor firing at this target. Right? It was some other person, and he's also joining in on the fight because they're both competing for this elimination. But Razor comes out on top and now has 6 eliminations under his belt.
That is beautiful. And look, right where he's positioned, the next zone is so close. So he's almost setting up right now to extend his base and try to maintain that high ground. He has the master. He doesn't have to drop down from his base to run. He can just extend his base out, and he can support it very well with floors and pyramids to make sure it doesn't get taken down. And that's what he's doing right now, setting up for 2 seconds from now.
And you know he's got plenty of mats. He's got 700 brick, 500 metal. I mean, he's in a good spot.
Very good spot.
You kind of wish he had more, but...
Here comes the enemies launch padding in. They want this high ground. They're trying to overtake it, and he gives it up. He has low ground now. Enemy has ultimate high ground.
Do you think maybe he just disengages and falls back? I mean, it's not worth fighting over, right? It's 1v2.
Exactly, and with low ammo, you should almost wait till an enemy engages first to try to third party. It would be kind of risky taking a fight this late at game, and with his health that he has.
Yeah, and especially with no shields. I mean, especially at 75 health, one solid shotgun is going to down you. You'll definitely be eliminated to a sniper round, right?
Right.
Grenades will definitely eliminate you.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to be very, very careful, and I think he is. He definitely knows what he's doing. Very smart.
Top 8. Look at, I mean, you know, he's got a bouncer.
Right, and I think at this point in the game, it's just a waiting game. You're just waiting for the next circle, or you're waiting for the enemy to push first, but no one is going to be doing that. They're just kind of waiting for the zone and trying to pick people off when they're running from the zone.
That's right.
And if there's a team who's currently closer to the next circle, as soon as he makes an edit and tries to come out there, he's gonna get shot. Because the enemy team who's closer to the circle doesn't have to start moving right now like he does.
Oh, wow. What a super dope bouncer. He's immediately trying to find himself heading toward the circle, just turning and building as much as he can.
Exactly what he needs to be doing, but he's getting shot.
Oh,
very low health. One shotgun shot, he's done.
Oh, no. Fixer finds Razor. We'll have to see if he was able to activate the Wrecking Ball bonus for next game. But this is Fixer. This is the person that eliminated Razor.
They are very, very high up, mind you.
All right, so look, Nick, this is a top 4.
Right.
I believe it is a 2v2 right now. And the enemy team is built up high in the sky.
In this situation, the enemy is going to want to start coming down. I mean, they can easily bring that down in a matter of seconds, possibly in 10 seconds from now, they may be falling. I would be surprised if they're not dropping down now. Yes. And they do drop down.
Oh, here we go. Looks like a 2v2.
This could get intense.
Oh, man, they're splitting them up perfectly.
And the storm is coming. It's pushing in right now, and it's fast. They got to be thinking on their toes. I don't think he's aware. Now he knows.
They're above us.
Oh, I hope we see some highlights from this. No, he goes down immediately. Lasered. It's just Gabby.
And if they focus their fire, they can get this. And they
look, it's the Atlantis guys. Wow. Atlantis Metro. Unbelievable. So they find a victory royale. Wow. So that means next game they're going to be activating that Kingpin bonus.
Triple the points for each elimination.
Wow. That's got to feel pretty good for the Atlantis guys, you know, taking out that first game, and it's